Hey guys, I'm not even gonna lie, I don't even know how to even start this video. I've been debating on posting this video, I lie to you not, for like the last 2 years. So for the people who don't know, when I was 2 years old, I got sent into the foster care system because my biological parents were on drugs. I got adopted by my adoptive family. I got failed in a way. And then when I got adopted, it's like this is the family that was supposed to give me the love that my real parents couldn't give me. And it's like, especially with my adoptive dad, like, you were supposed to step up and be that father that I didn't have. And then I feel like he was the first one to literally break my heart. Like when I was 21, that was when that was like my first time ever saying like anything about like what he did to me. It took me that long to say anything, and that was only because an argument had broke out. And if that argument would have never happened, I probably still, to this day 2 years later, I probably still wouldn't have said nothing. Growing up, my family always, well, I feel like mainly like my mom, I've always lived like in fear, because when I was little and stuff like that, like my mom used to like, you know, she used to beat on me and my brothers, like, and not only that, but I didn't really get treated the best by my mom. I always felt like my mom genuinely like hated me. Like I always felt like that, like my whole life. I'm gonna just hop into the story. Like I remember when I was little. So our house, so basically like there was like an upstairs and a downstairs. And the upstairs, like my parents' room, their room was like on the left side, and then my room was on the right side. All right, so around that time, my mom was still like allowing me to see like my biological family. My real aunt, like she would pick me up and she would take me to my grandma's house, or like at times I would like sleep over like her aunt, but this is like my blood aunt. And I remember at the time my real dad, he bought me like this little like princess TV. It's like a little pink TV, and it had like a little heart on the top, but you could only play like DVDs on there. Like it wasn't like a cable TV, like it was just like the little DVDs or whatever. And I remember he had got me that TV. This is like my real dad. So then in that house, you know, of course, like I'm living with my adoptive parents, and to my adoptive dad, he basically like he took that, like he hooked up that TV for a little bit, and then after like a few days or whatever, he basically changed my TV, but he put it to like the one that's like connected to like the cable. And whenever like my mom would like be downstairs, like he would act like, so all right, so at nighttime he would like come upstairs to his room, and he would like watch his like movies in there, and then my mom would be like downstairs like watching her little novelas and stuff like that. So he would come upstairs, and sometimes when he would be like in my room, like he would try to make my mom think that he's like fixing something or like doing something in my room, but in reality the whole time he's touching me. Like it starts off little, you know, like I feel like it started off little. Like it started off by like him like grabbing my butt sometimes, like when people weren't around, kind of like tickling me. But the next thing you know, his hands ends up like on my boobs. Mind you, I'm a little girl, like I don't really know what's like happening. And when he would like do certain things, he would always tell me like right after, like, don't say nothing, you know, you can't say nothing, this is our little secret, blah blah blah. This man would literally, and I know, like, I know when my family see this, like, they're gonna be like, what the fuck? Like, but anyways, he would like put like on the TV, and he would like put that on mute in case like whenever like he heard my mom coming up the stairs or something, so he wouldn't get caught. And he would like try to touch me, and he'll try to like put like my hand like on his and stuff like that, and he would get me to like rub it, and every time I move my hand, he'll put my hand right back on there. And he'll always tell me, he's like, oh, this is stuff that you have to learn for when you're older, blah blah blah. Like what do you mean this is stuff that I have to learn for when I'm older? I'm like 5 years old. Like what are you talking about? He would do stuff like that. And then as a little girl, it was just like, I'm trained to like, okay, well, I can't tell nobody. I have to, like, there was times where like I even like woke up to him, like I would be sleeping and I would wake up, and then he would just be standing right in front of me with his thing out. Like, there was multiple times where I would be in my room, like playing with dolls or whatever, and he would literally come upstairs, like right when, like fresh out the shower, like he would come upstairs in his towel, and my door would be open. Like, one thing that my mom always made me do when I was little, she never, like, for some reason, like, she never allowed me to close the door. Like, I was never allowed to like close the door and lock it. I guess like to see what I was doing or whatever. I don't know why she did that, but I was never allowed to close my door. Even at night when I was when I would go to sleep, like she would leave like the door open, and he would come out the shower, he would come upstairs, and I'm sitting down playing with my little Barbies, and he's in the doorway, and he want to take his towel off and show me his thing, and literally like wiggle it, and then turn around and go in his room and go get dressed. Like it's just certain, it's just like I don't understand. Like, and mind you, this is my own dad. Like, it's like, this is why nobody could ever convince me that my mom didn't know, because there's just no way. Like it just, like, there was so many signs. I remember it got to a point where I couldn't even like when I was little, I couldn't even control like my pee. Like it's just so, like, there were so many signs there. I feel like she depended on him so much, to the point where it's just like she knows deep down who she's with. She knows deep down like what he does. She knows deep down he's into younger girls. She knows that shit. Like, I just feel like she just racked up in her head on like what would happen if he leaves or he gets locked up or something like that. Like, I remember one time, I lie to y'all not, I was probably like 11 years old when this happened. At that time, I started getting like really angry. Like, around that time, I was very depressed. I was always telling my best friend that I wanted to kill myself around that time. my family ended up sending me to like this program or whatever. And around that time, I feel like that was when I started, you know, I started getting to like that age where I started like liking boys and stuff like that. And I feel like that's where like what happened to me, or what was happening to me, started really like affecting me. Because it's like, if you've known me my whole life, like if you've known me, I scream daddy issues. I scream daddy issues, like. And I noticed that like once I got older, like it's like, damn, like I've been in a lot of situations where it's just like I lacked a lot of self-love. I can admit and I could take accountability, like there's a lot of decisions that I've made where I didn't carry myself the best, where I didn't carry myself like a woman. But it's because like it's hard to deal with that and cope with that. Like the main person that was supposed to protect me failed me the worst. And then growing up, it's like he would like buy me things, and my siblings and my family would like, oh, she's the favorite, he be buying her stuff, he does this, he does this. Yeah, to cover up what he did. That's why. Like, and when I came out about it, the first thing my mom told me was, oh, but you was getting in the car with him so he could take you to school, and he did this. That don't take away what he did. That don't take away the trauma that I have to deal with for the rest of my life. There's nothing like he could have gave me $1 million. That still don't take away what I went through and what I had to face and what I had to deal with and what I'm still dealing with. None of that takes that away. Like I'm so tired of like I hate how certain people mention like what somebody else done for you to cover up all the fucked up shit that they did to you. There's no reason on why a grown-ass man should have had that much satisfaction over a little girl. I remember when I was like, yeah, back to the story, when I said when I was 11. I don't know if he ended up like cutting me like with his nail or something, but I ended up getting like I had like a cut in there. I had a cut. So I ended up putting like hydrogen peroxide in mine. And I poured that in there, and I ended up getting a huge infection. I got like a big infection. I remember this day like it was yesterday. When I told my mom, she literally laid me down. She looked at me down there. And this is the first thing she says, and I could die right now if I'm lying. And I don't even put things on my daughter, but me being a mom, on God, she lays me down and she goes, has anybody been touching you? She named my dad, and then she named my brothers. She was like, did such and such touch you? Did your brothers touch you? Like, she was going berserk, like. And then when she said my dad, I nodded. I said, yeah. And you know what she does? She calls him into the room, and he starts crying, and she's like, she said that you've been touching her, blah blah blah. And you know what they tell me? You know what my mom tells me? She's like, you know, without him the household's gonna fall apart. Please tell me that's not true. But like, she's like, the family's gonna fall apart. And I'm like, well, at the time I'm young, but looking back now, it's like, girl, this family is already broken as it could be. Like, what do you mean? But it's like, at that time, I felt like she guilt tripped me. She was saying how without her, without him, the house was gonna fall apart and stuff like that. And not only that, but like as I said earlier in the video, like I grew up in a foster care system. Let's say if I would have opened up and my mom did what she had to do, and he got locked up and things happened. What if I would have got taken away again? What if me and my brothers would have got taken away again? Like, that's stuff that I constantly thought about growing up all the time. It's like, what if we get taken again? And then at the time, it's like growing up, like I had such a strong like attachment to my sister. And it's like it was like even this one situation too, like it was with a girl that my mom used to babysit. And I remember like around that time, like she sat me down and she asked me if my dad been touching me. And I said no. I said no, why? Because I'm a little girl, and in my head around that time, it's like, I'm not allowed to say nothing. You know, like, he would tell me, like, oh, this is our little secret. You're not allowed to say nothing. And even my mom, like even when I got older, when I did almost come out about it, it's like, oh, without him, the household is going to fall apart. And I feel as though my mom, like, I feel like growing up, she always made me feel like I was always, like, the blame for everything. Like, I feel like I was just so, like, manipulated and just so, I couldn't open up. There was never a time where I really opened up to my mom about anything, not even, like, my personal life. I never felt emotionally safe. And then not only that, but even growing up, when I would like sleep over my cousin's house and stuff like that, I was always told to never say nothing that goes on in the house. Like, I was never allowed to go over somebody's house and like tell them what's going on. And I remember there was times like where my titi would try to like get it out of me, and I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't say it. I'll be like, no. But it's just like, bruh, people knew. And you guys know how I know that my mom knew, because it was just like her reaction. It's like deep down she knows, but then another part of her is just like she feels embarrassed because she let all that happen. And I know she probably lives with that conscience every single day. Like, you didn't protect me. Like, as a woman, like, she didn't protect me. And sometimes that makes me like really question on, like, that's probably why she had so much like hate towards me. I'm still trying to heal myself every single day, and now I have my daughter, and I don't want what I went through growing up, like, I don't want to bleed that onto her. I want to be able to give my daughter the full version of me, the whole version of me, not the broken, lonely version of me. I feel like a lot of people in my family covered it up, but that's what family will do. They will literally sweep things under the rug just to protect their image. Like, everything is about an image. Everything's about an image. I feel like when I got a little older, like probably like after I turned 12, like after he stopped, I feel like he started doing like a lot of things just to cover up, or like maybe he thought I didn't remember, or maybe he thought like, because that's a problem with people too. Like, they think kids don't know. Kids are sponges. And if they don't know at the time, they're gonna look back at their life and they're gonna think, and they're gonna know what you did to them. You can't cover up your shadow for too long. And I'll be damned if I ever allow my daughter to go through that, or I'll stay with a man that's touching my daughter because I don't know how to live on my own, or I don't know how to do this, or I don't know how to do that. Like, Honestly, if my daughter was to ever tell me that somebody ever touched her, I will personally walk that man to jail myself, no ifs or buts. And I always thought to myself, like, what type of daughter would I be if I tell everyone what he did to me? What type of daughter would I be if I broke the family? And I feel like certain people, they see things as like, oh, well, it never happened to me. It never happened to me. He never did it to me. So if he didn't do it to me, how can he do it to you? Do y'all know that, like, people plan things out? And why would somebody, like, there are dads out here that are really sick that do it to, like, their biological daughters. But it's like, there's some that it's just like, if you're their real daughter, they're not going to do it to you. Like, they're only going to do it to people who they know that they're vulnerable, and people that are not their daughters. And I still get no justice. And it's not even like about the justice at this point. It's just about like how people could do things to someone and just move on like nothing. And that never happened. And then it'd be that person who has to like deal with that. Like, there's a lot of females that go through this and they end up killing themselves. They end up on drugs. They end up like, because it's just so hard. It's so hard to deal and cope with something like this. When you're just a little girl and you get your innocence taken from you, like, I was just trying to be a little girl. I was just trying to be in my room playing Barbies, like, being a child. Being a child. And I get that ripped away from me. I get that ripped away from me. I was never protected. I was never protected. Nobody could ever say that they protected me, because they didn't. And to this day, I'm hurt. To this day, like, it's like I try to find forgiveness in my heart for that. I prayed to God so many times. God, heal my heart. God, please allow me to forgive, just so I could forgive for myself, just so like I won't feel that pain no more. And it's so hard. It's so hard to forgive that, especially when the person that did that to you is just living life. Like, living life. Like, if they never did nothing wrong, like, just living their life. A lot of girls who go through this never get their justice. Like, and even if they do report it, it be times where like the system fails them too. I just hope that one day God allows me to be at peace with what I've went through, and He allows people to see this man for who he truly is. And I just hope that one day God makes a way for me and my daughter. Because even like being a mom with no mom, that hurts. You know, like, and this video isn't for like pity either, like, because I try to like take situations and grow from them. A lot of family, they just sweep things under the rug, like, okay, it happened, okay. Then next thing you know, you questioning why your daughter doing all this stuff and why she moving the way you do, the way she moving, because you didn't do your job as a parent. Because you didn't have your child's back when you needed to have their back. You weren't paying attention when you needed to pay attention. People act so oblivious with certain things. Sometimes when people do things to you, they won't even be sorry. They won't even be sorry. Like, I can't wrap my head around the fact that I really went through that. Like, why isn't this man in jail yet?